all right.
Yo, yo, yo.
Coming to you live from Philly. It's the number one rated Paulie Tony Fusco show.
Yo, yo, yo.
As always, Paulie Fusco here with Tony Fusco and Tony.
Yo.
Huge show today. But first, we got to get a few orders of business out of the way up top.
Excited
people,
for this.
You've been listening in the last few weeks. We've laid out an expert case for why the Super Bowl 57 result should be overturned. And, well, let's just say we can't elaborate much more, but now it's in the hands of our lawyers, who will soon be filing a massive class action lawsuit on behalf of the millions of viewers who were robbed of a fair ending in the Super Bowl.
It's
and
happening.
Tony, we can't talk too much, but let's just say we've got some high-powered people involved, don't we?
Yeah. You know Alan Dershowitz? Well, we're in touch with a guy who goes to the same gym as him.
Yeah, and he advised us to just, cease talking about it for a moment, just until the case is resolved.
No problem.
So that's what we're going to do. Besides, we got huge sports news to talk about on the show. Lots of big drama at ESPN, Tony.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. JJ Redick and Kendrick Perkins getting into it. And then a clip from First Take that was so shameful and shocking that exposed the whole truth about what goes on behind the scenes at ESPN. And we're going to bring on a former ESPN employee to talk about it, a man who was truly a legend over there in Bristol for years.
Oh, yeah.
Former researcher, producer, turned on-air talent, Howie Schwab.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, former host of
him.
us game show Stump the Schwab, known as the Sultan of sports trivia. That is until a couple years ago when he came on the show and Tony absolutely destroyed him, wiped the floor with him in a battle of sports trivia and took the title. In fact, Tony, I'm surprised that Howie Schwab is even showing his face again. Maybe he wants a rematch, maybe.
Yeah, no problem. But he's got to be nuts to do that. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And that's actually a terrific segue, Tony, because on the subject of nuts, it's time for a word from our new sponsor, our good friends at Blue Diamond Almonds. Do you eat almonds that aren't totally coated in seasoning? Why the you doing that?
Yeah. What are you, a squirrel? Eat your almonds with seasoning, a**hole.
Blue Diamond Almonds. Get a 6-ounce can for the low, low price of $24.99. Available at all CVS locations. Blue Diamond Almonds.
Yeah.
Let's not waste any more time here, Tony. Let's get right into our top story.
Top story.
First out the gate, just a terrible week for ESPN. Two shocking incidents occurring during their morning show, First Take.
Unreal.
And we're going to talk about one of them right now. It occurred on the segment where Stephen A. Smith was asking longtime New York sports broadcaster Michael Kay to name who he thought would be the next New York team to win a championship. Let's go ahead and play that clip.
Which team in New York do you think wins a championship next?
Rangers. Oh, Lord. Come on, Patrick Kane is able.
They don't count.
They don't count.
They don't count.
Only thing I know about hockey is that the puck is black.
Okay.
And I love Gary Bettman. That's my buddy who I owe a trip to the hockey game.
Right.
It is no disrespect to the Rangers and to Patrick Kane, of course, but just for Stephen
Football,
A.
basketball, baseball.
Yeah.
Wow. I still can't believe it. Just so disrespectful.
So disrespectful. You hear Stephen A. there totally shutting down the hockey conversation, trying to shift the conversation to football, baseball, basketball.
Unbelievable.
The NHL has always been considered one of the four major sports. It's right up there with NFL, NBA, and MLB.
Totally. Nothing competes with it.
Absolutely. I mean, unless you count NASCAR, but that's only in the South.
Regional.
Yeah, and maybe UFC, but that's on pay-per-view.
Elitist.
Yeah, and maybe golf with Tiger Woods, but he's out of the picture now.
Peg leg.
And I guess you got to throw in college football and college basketball, too.
Which are not pro. Not pro.
Yeah, not pro. And, well, maybe you got to throw in Little League Baseball, because that does do big numbers for about a month each year.
Yeah, that's true.
And also poker.
Also true.
Horse racing.
Yeah, that's fair. But it's animal sports, so, asterisk.
Yeah. Well, other than that, hockey's a Big Four sport. It's undisputed.
Totally. Can't argue. Can't argue
well,
it.
on the subject of arguing, another great transition there by you, Tony. Terrific.
Thank you.
Yeah, that leads to another incident we saw on First Take this week, a brouhaha breaking out between JJ Redick and Kendrick Perkins. You know, Redick fired back at Perkins because he thought Perkins was accusing the NBA MVP voters of being kind of racist, I guess, because they gave MVP awards to Nikola Jokic, Dirk Nowitzki, and Steve Nash, and now they appear to be giving the award to Jokic once again. And, you know, Tony, it is an interesting point that Kendrick Perkins is making here, but you felt he missed the point, kinda, didn't you?
Unfortunately, yes. You see, Kendrick Perkins was on the right track with his criticism of NBA MVP voting, but a closer look reveals that the real reason Nikola Jokic keeps getting named MVP is that in sports media, there's clearly a strong pro-Serbian bias.
Yep.
You think it's bad with the NBA MVP? Just look at the award for ATP Tennis Player of the Year. Every year, they got Novak Djokovic winning over and over again.
Yep.
As you can see, more evidence of clear Serbian bias.
Terrific journalism and research there, Tony, once again. And let's move from the NBA to the NFL, where we saw the conclusion of the NFL Combine. Now, most analysts say University of Florida QB Anthony Richardson totally improved his draft stock. But, you know, you got a lot of naysayers out there, Tony, who say you shouldn't put too much weight on what happens in the Combine. They say they
don't know what
realistic,
they're talking about.
But those people, they don't know what they're talking about, do they, Tony?
Not at all. People say there's more pressure when a QB has to play in a real game in front of real people. But I'd argue there's more pressure when there's no people. Think about it. I mean, if you overthrow a receiver in front of 80,000 people in a playoff game, well, that's understandable. Nobody bats an eye. It happens. But if you can't complete a pass to a wide open receiver with no defender in front of no crowd, career over. That's pressure.
Great point, Tony. And, to jump off your point there, we see this in basketball too, don't we? Where's the most pressure? The free throw line. There you go. And staying in the NFL, big contract news. The Giants decided to give their quarterback Daniel Jones a 4-year, $160 million deal for reasons that nobody seems to know. And,
Crazy.
Tony, this is already having a massive ripple effect through the whole league, isn't it?
Absolutely. This has totally changed the market for QBs and their valuations. In fact, I crunched the numbers here, and according to my calculations, if a totally shitty garbage QB like Daniel Jones is worth $160 million, then you have to project that Jalen Hurts is worth approximately $1.2 billion, give or take.
Wow. Just tremendous analysis and computation there, Tony. And, would love to get into that more, but our guest is coming on the line. So let's bring him on the Fusco Satellite Network.
Fusco Satellite Network.
All right, for decades now, this guy's been considered one of the legends over at ESPN. He worked behind the scenes as a researcher and producer, you know the story, before becoming on-air co-host of the popular sports trivia game show, Stump the Schwab, where he became known around the world as the Sultan of Sports Trivia. The title which, as you remember, he lost right here on this show 2 years ago when Tony absolutely just wiped the floor with him and in a totally fair sports trivia competition. So we do have to give him his due for being man enough to come on the show again, show his face after that total humiliation. Howie Schwab, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back, Howie.
How much are you paying me for this?
Oh, we're off with a bang. Yeah.
Is that how we're going to start here?
Is that how you started your negotiations with ESPN? No wonder they left you on the side of the highway in Bristol. What?
After that introduction, how you kicked my ass the last time, great. Okay.
We were very respectful about it.
We're very
very respectful. You're wearing an Eagle jersey. I'm a Giant fan. Good job.
Oh, all right. He's butthurt.
We're going to start like
look,
this.
Look.
Look.
We know
Let's reel it back
We know why
in.
you're back here, Howie. You want to win your title back, and we're going to give you that shot. But first, there was a moment this week, you may have seen it on ESPN's First Take, where Stephen A. Smith totally shut down Michael Kay for attempting to talk hockey.
Unbelievable.
Your reaction to that clip?
I think it's awful because the NHL has very much earned its right to be among the major sports.
There you go.
There you go.
I understand if you don't want to say it's ESPN will say the NBA is above it, and they'll say baseball and football, of course, the NFL.
It's up there.
Okay, but the bottom line is this: look what the Boston Bruins have done this year. One of the greatest years ever.
Yep, they're good.
Connor McDavid.
Yeah, Connor McDavid.
These are things every American knows.
Yep.
Now, we want to know, you worked behind the scenes there. When you were there, did you notice a strong anti-hockey bias at ESPN?
I would say that hockey did not get its just due when it was not on the network. I mean, the stories they did were like the Russian spies involving hockey. There were others. I mean, no, I don't think they did a good job. And it was off the air. Once it came back on the air, I thought that, well, they gave it a little more respect. They have that TV show, The Point.
Yes.
They give it a little bit.
Should replace First Take, in my opinion.
Yeah. They should have Barry Melrose on every morning First Take.
They're missing the point, literally.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Barry would have to get up early. I don't know if he'd want that.
No, some inside info there, people. That's why we have you on. Now
Barry likes to sleep in, everybody.
Melrose sleeping schedule.
Sleeps in.
I don't know about that, but I just... it's a shame because there's ways to give it more publicity. Unfortunately, I think when you're talking about First Take, I don't think Stephen A. really cares that much about hockey. So
yeah, he proved it.
Yeah,
he's been outed. Now
nothing against. Hey, let me tell you something. Stephen A. Smith gets criticized by some people. Stephen A. Smith's a good person.
Yes, but he's so anti-hockey, and that's shameful.
Yeah. He's a good person who's anti-hockey. Is that what led to your split with ESPN? If you don't put on more hockey, I'm leaving.
Did you violently demand they put on more hockey coverage and there was some sort of fight between you and them?
No, that did not happen.
Oh, that's what we heard.
Yeah.
We heard that you walked in one day and you punched one of the producers in the mouth and you said, lead with the Nordiques versus the Senators, not the Super Bowl.
More Nordiques.
It's funny you tell this story, which is obviously not true, but one time I did have a disagreement. The producer of SportsCenter, when Mario Lemieux was going to be out for like months, he had it as the fourth story in the show.
Are you kidding me?
And
Shameful.
I went crazy. I went to above his head. I went to one of the bosses and said, "This is insane. You're wrong."
Yep.
They changed it, and that guy was pissed off at me. But you know what? I wasn't wrong. So.
Well, on the subject of where you were wrong, that's called a segue.
Yeah, that's a great segue, Paulie.
You want to win your title back. You want to play the trivia again. So, it's going to be time right now.
Not really. Not really.
Oh, see, he's scared, Tony.
He's scared. He's already given himself an out.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm ready.
All right. So, get ready.
I can't wait to hear the asinine questions that are going to come my way, but... It's all good.
He's implying it's fixed,
He's already trying to put an asterisk on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Gee, the last time...
this isn't the Super Bowl. Don't worry. It's not fixed.
I sleep at night over that. 2 years I haven't slept.
Well, you got your chance at payback now.
Okay, let's...
You're winning the talking competition. Now, win the listening competition. All right, here we go. We're going to do the exact same thing we did with you last time, okay? Which you clearly haven't forgotten. You're still butthurt about it. Hopefully, it works out better for you this time. I'm going to ask each of you, Howie, you, and Tony, you, randomly selected questions, okay? If you get the question right, you get 1 point. Howie, I'm going to ask you the first question, then I'm going to ask Tony a question. We're going to do this for 3 rounds, back and forth. Whoever has the most points after 3 rounds wins the game, and the title of Sultan of Sports trivia, okay? So I've
Yeah,
told you
let's
the rules.
do it.
Everyone's on board. It's time to begin the rematch. The Sultan of Sports Trivia Showdown.
Yeah.
You ready, Howie? Yeah, the first one's coming to you. The first category for our first round is NFL, okay? Here you go, Howie. This one's for you. People like to say Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback, but he's not that great. He's not even the Chiefs' all-time passing yards leader. He's second on the list all-time. First in Chiefs history is, of course, Len Dawson. Howie, tell me, for 1 point, who is third on the list?
I was going to say Len Dawson's first. Oh, my God.
Oh, too bad for you.
Oh, Lord.
Uh-oh.
Really?
Already struggling.
Yeah.
Who's third? Oh, God.
Don't make me buzz you out here.
Yeah, you got a time limit.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and all right, Tony. This won't count toward your total, but Tony, just out of curiosity, do you know the answer to that one?
Trent Green?
Boom! Correct, Tony. There you go. Trent Green is the correct answer there.
I thought he was lower. Okay,
not a great start for you. All right, now we move to Tony.
Okay.
Tony, this one's for you. Trent Green, as we just established, is third in all-time passing yards for the Chiefs. But 11th on the list is which notable 4-time Super Bowl winning quarterback? Excuse me, Howie. Tony needs to focus, so please.
Howie, please. I believe it's Joe Montana.
Boom! You are correct. Correct. Joe Montana is the correct answer. Which means after round 1, Tony has 1, Howie still 0. And that's even dating back to our last competition where you finished with 0. So hopefully you'll get on the board soon. All right, next question, Howie. Get ready. The category for this round is NBA, okay? We all remember 1996 when the Philadelphia 76ers used the number 1 overall pick to draft Allen Iverson, the GOAT. But Howie, who did the Sixers draft that same year with the 31st pick? I'll remind you, these are all just randomly selected questions.
Randomly selected.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
All right, Howie, we're going to have to speed up here. Our audience is going to fall asleep here.
31st overall. Oh, my God.
Yes, you're stalling, Howie.
Nope, 0 for 2. Great.
Tony, this will not count toward your total, but do you happen to know the answer to this one?
I can guess. Was it Mark Hendrickson?
Oh, Mark Hendrickson, of course.
Out of California.
Yup, played baseball.
Yeah, I remember Mark Hendrickson. Oh, my God.
Yes, I know how it's very...
Yeah, you remembered after I said it.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
Damn
Tony
right I
did.
Yep.
Give you a hint there.
Okay.
All right, Tony, this one's for you. Same category.
Okay, a lot on the line here.
As we said, Allen Iverson was drafted number 1 overall in the 1996 draft.
Of course. Yeah.
But which future 5-time champ out of Wake Forest was the number 1 pick in 1997?
And
that would be...
It's not your turn. It's not your turn, Howie. Please.
Howie, please.
I might as well just give it to you. Come on.
Howie, please. It's Tim
Howie,
Duncan. Tim Duncan.
Correct, Tim Duncan. We agreed
Thank you.
to the
Howie,
rules.
please.
We agreed to the rules.
Yeah.
So we're going to give you a double or nothing here, right? Double or nothing. You'll get right back in the game. You just have to answer this one question. And here we go with round 3. Final category. NHL, right up your alley, right? You know NHL, we've established
our specialty.
Yeah, I can't wait for this one.
Focus in, Howie. This past year, as we all know, Austin Matthews won the Hart Memorial Trophy for Most Valuable Player. But in 1924, the first person to ever win the award was Frank Nibor, of course. Howie, to stay alive, what was the name of Frank Nibor's first professional team?
The Wanderers.
Ooh. Kind of wandered a little too far from the correct answer on that one. You're kind of in the parking lot there. Tony, again, this won't count toward your total, but do you happen to know the answer to this one?
Of course. Are you talking about the Port Arthur Bearcats? Is that who you're talking about?
Did it again. Undefeated.
You're done.
Well done, Tony. You have defended your title as the Sultan of Sports Trivia. You're almost
Thank
like
you.
the double Sultan. And Howie, as you know, that means that at this point in the show,
Tough break, Howie.
you must turn to Tony and say these exact words, quote, follow after me. I bow before you, the true Sultan of Sports Trivia. Go ahead.
I bow before you, the true Sultan of Sports Trivia. Oh, yes.
Oh, you being sarcastic, Howie?
He's being a little sarcastic. Howie, I'm going to need you to do that again with a little more, honesty in your voice.
Excuse me. I just said it, okay?
No, you didn't.
No, you
We
didn't.
know you didn't mean it.
No,
we
you
can
didn't.
read sarcasm. And guess what you can also
Guess
read
what
now?
sarcasm
The
gets
door,
you?
Because you're off
It
the
gets
show.
you off the
Get
show.
out of here, you sore
You're off
loser.
the show.
How are we doing? We're doing horrible.
We're schwabbing the deck with
go
you.
Schwab the deck. You just got
Fusco
schwabbed.
Sports.
You're out of here. Is he off the line?
Jay, hang up the phone.
Since he's not man enough to say it, I'll say it. Congratulations, Tony. You're truly the Sultan of Sports Trivia. Maintaining
thank
the
you.
title. There
I
you go.
schwabbed the deck with him.
Yeah, and
Yup.
let's not let him ruin what was a terrific show.
No.
And also was terrific. Our sponsor, Blue Diamond Normans.
Yeah.
Whoa, wait, hold on.
Oh,
on.
you kidding me? Oh, if it's somebody I'd like to crack like a nut,
There
producer
you go.
Jay.
Yeah, he is a nut. What?
Yeah.
Corrections, guys, corrections.
What? Hurry up.
First, you said that since Daniel Jones is worth $160 million, Jalen Hurts is worth $1.2 billion?
Yeah, totally.
Totally.
Every
Makes
penny.
sense.
Yeah.
No, the largest NFL contract is $230 million. So no team is ever giving Jalen Hurts $1.2 billion. That would be a terrible decision.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm going to give you $1.2 billion. Punches in the face.
Yeah. You know who else made a terrible decision? Your parents when they conceived you.
Good one, Tony.
You're
Got
done.
him
That's
there.
it. Yeah, no more. We're done.
No. You keep saying the Nuggets player is Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah.
No, it's Nikola Jokic, not Jokic. Maybe you should try watching a Denver Nuggets game.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm going to Joe kick you in the Nuggets if you catch my drift.
Yeah. You know what I can't wait to watch? Your funeral.
Oh,
Yeah.
good one, Tony.
Got him. You're done. We're done. No more.
No, you basically slammed ESPN for not talking hockey on their debate shows.
Yeah, it's shameful of them.
Totally.
You guys never talk hockey on this show. In fact, I don't think I've heard you talk hockey ever.
Oh, yeah? Well, I don't think I've ever heard you shut the f*** up.
Yeah. Hockey reminds me of your love life. Cold as ice. Yeah.
Great one, Tony. Oh,
You're
yeah,
done.
He's gone
He's
cold
sad,
there.
Paulie. Look at him, Paulie.
But you know what's going to be heating up? Us. Because we're going on vacation next week.
Yeah,
we won't
we
tell you
are.
where, so you don't come and bother us.
Nope, don't
but,
bother
we'll
us.
be back in 2 weeks. Until then, follow us on TikTok, subscribe on YouTube, all the major platforms. Rate and review the show if you want to waste your time doing that.
Go
on the
back if you miss
podcast.
us. Go listen to the old episodes.
Yeah, go listen to old episodes. You can hear us kick Howie Schwab's ass twice.
The first
All right,
time, yup.
There you go. Anyway, great job as always, Tony.
Same to you, Paulie. Another flawless show.
There you go. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
See ya.